So, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the Overthinking Hours podcast. I am today's host, George. I'm here with some of my co-hosts, and you guys can introduce yourselves.
Okay, yo, what's good, y'all? It's your boy Rodney, man. Out here with the Overthinking Hours podcast. It's up to the people.
Hey man, it's Jared here, man. Just here for the show.
Yes, sir. It's your boy Tashawn Merritt, aka TM9, aka DJ World Boss, aka Chocolate, aka Mr. Too Many Nicknames. You done know.
Man, you know what it is, man. It's your boy JA to the H. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm your host, G, today. So let's just get right into it. We're going to introduce ourselves to all our listeners. It's our first episode. This is episode 1. I'm 23 years old. I studying athletic administration up at Brockport, working on my master's. I like basketball, rap music, same as my friends here. And I just enjoy podcasting. So we put something together here, and we hope you all enjoy it. Rodney, you can take it away.
Hey, y'all, it's Rodney Roberts, Jr. I'm 23 years old. I play professional basketball, but I also am a pharmacy technician. I love to help people. I love basketball. I love music, and I just love life and God in general.
Hey man, named Jared over here. I got a degree in sports management over here at the School of Rockport. I just love basketball music, and that's about it.
Yes, sir. It's your boy Tashawn Merritt. I'm 25 years old. I'm an aspiring professional soccer player.
Yes, sir.
Holla at me, you done know.
Yeah, I mean, I already said who I was. I would just like to say I love women. That's it.
Oh my God.
All right. So, we've talked plenty throughout the quarantine and whatnot. We've thrown ideas back and forth at one another. It's kind of how this whole podcast came to be. We've been talking about it for a couple years now, and there's no better time than right now to start a podcast, try to give people something to entertain them. I know quarantine for the first part, almost slowly making our way out for you guys in the city. Stuff's still the same for a couple more weeks. So how has life since this all started changed for you guys?
Well, for me, I had so many plans going into the summer, and I had so many goals, and kind of put that on hold as far as like basketball and getting better opportunities. But I think the benefit of this happening is I had a chance to really work on myself, as far as my body, my mental, and my circle, and of those around me. So I appreciate that out of everything that's happened as far as this quarantine.
Cool.
Cool, man. Quarantine for me, man, it just gave me a chance to let everything slow down for a minute and let me appreciate what really matters, like health, family. So quarantine actually for me just helped slow everything down, get my mind in order, get my goals together, and that's about it.
All right, Miss Rona fucked up all type of shit for me. Like, I had plans set. I had goals that were attainable, that I was trying to achieve. And Miss Rona just came in and said, not today, just like how the universe regularly says not today to me. So I guess, fuck the Sean Merritt, right? But anyways, yeah. So I just been, trying to make the most of this pandemic because unlike most, or unlike a lot of people, I have a home. I don't have to worry too much about bills, and
That's a
I
fact.
I can eat. I got food in my fridge, so I, I got a lot more than what some people have, and I have less worries than what other people have. So gotta be grateful for that.
I'm not gonna lie though, this pandemic can make my account look good.
That stimmy be hitting, I bet.
It sure is.
The stimmy be hitting.
Must be nice to get a
Oh, and
stimulus check.
apologies. I know that unemployment check probably be hitting too.
Hide the
I'm
money
getting
up,
that.
just broke people around.
Josh, how has life changed for you, Josh?
Life, oh man. I mean, life has drastically changed. I mean, my whole next 4 years of my life pretty much is different now, But and no time to focus on the negative, just pushing farther, taking a break from trying to focus on my future and just kind of enjoying the present, making sure I'm outside, you know what I'm saying, making sure I'm out showing my support for different things and just focusing on things that matter, like my family and stuff like that. Working on my communication skills or whatever. So,
Felt
yeah.
that.
Graduated too, boy.
Oh yeah, did that.
Big
He's a
facts, big
fresh
facts, big facts, big
alpha.
facts,
He's a
big facts.
graduate student. John had a good semester, even though it got cut short. John had a good semester.
Oh shit, John,
Big
you're a
facts,
grad
big
student,
facts,
bro?
big facts.
Oh no.
Oh, he graduated.
Oh, he graduated. I thought I heard grad student. Apologies.
Rodney, I didn't mean to cut you off, bro. What were you saying?
No, I said big facts, big facts, big facts, big facts.
He was ad-libbing for us.
All right. We always need one of those, you know? Okay, so life for me, similar to you guys, it just kind of like slowed down, trying to make opportunities. I started the other podcast. It's been nice because, like Josh said, spending time with the family has been huge. I've been home a couple of times for extended periods from the house at college, and it was just nice getting that time with my family. Their business got delayed due to the whole COVID, so we had a little bit extra time than we normally would each year. Besides that, finished off the semester online and just trying to figure out ways to keep busy every day. Like, still, it's not much you can do. Everything's closed still for the most part. Small things are reopening, but you got to keep yourself busy. I think that's the biggest thing through all this trying time with all the extra free time we have on our hands to think and try to accomplish things.
Agreed.
So, we're all big NBA fans. We all want the season. Well, I think we all want the season back. Is there anyone here who doesn't want the season back?
I for sure do.
Like I do at the same time I don't. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. Like for me, I definitely want to have some closure for this NBA season. Just because like the Bucks are on a crazy run, the Lakers were doing pretty good, and we had teams like the Clippers, and the Trailblazers. Not two different teams, but like I want to see the Trailblazers make the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? But the scenario for it right now is probably not the best. You know what I'm saying? I really wanted to see Luka in the regular season kind of work his team up to a better seed. But I just want to get to the next season. Honestly, like I'm not really worried about this season at all. Like I'm emotionally detached from it, to be honest. But if it comes back, like I'm gonna watch it. Obviously, you know what I'm saying. But
No, I get that.
I need that ring. Look, you need that ring. Oh, what y'all talk about? I need this season to hurry up now.
Man, I ain't even gonna lie. I obviously if it comes back, I'll definitely watch. But I'm so accustomed to not watching it. I wouldn't even think twice if it didn't. Like, if it doesn't, well, just look forward to next season. But I do personally think if it does come back, I would love to see how it ended because, like the teams that was being named, there were some powerhouses on that list, and I think this year was like one of those seasons like it was up for grabs for anybody. You just never know like how it was gonna end.
All right, so we're all in agreement. We want it back. So if the NBA does choose to come back, it looks like it's going to be Florida and Orlando in a bubble city. It's going to be July 31st is the target date, reported by Shams the other day. What style do you guys want the NBA to return? Do you want all 30 teams? Do you want the 22, the 20 teams? There's just the 16 playoff teams, 1 through 16. How do you guys want to see it come back? Do you guys want to see the regular season finish? There's a lot of possibilities. What do you guys want to see? What do you think is going to happen? I'm going to start us off. I think we're going to get 20 or 22 teams. There's the whole theory that the NBA is trying to get Zion in the playoffs. That's going to be some money. You see Zion versus the number 1 seed, or what's he? He's going to face the first or second seed. He's going to be right there towards the bottom, depending where he seeds. I think it'll be interesting. It's going to make a lot of money. It makes sense why they're going to do that. I don't want to see just the 16. I want to see the teams right there on the bubble get their chance to get the playoffs. You had a lot of teams in the West, and I think the Wizards are right there in the East. And I think most scenarios for the projections, it shows the Wizards having more games to play, no matter how they return, whether they're 20 or 22. So I think we're going to see Bradley Beal get to try to snap off a little bit. What do you guys want to see? Which style? What are you looking forward to? What do you think?
I personally like the 20 teams. So I actually do want to see Zion in the playoffs, and if he does run up against the Lakers or whoever the 2 seed is at this time, I would love to see that as the first matchup. I think exactly it would make sense. It would sell, and it would definitely put people at home watching it, and it'd be entertaining. Who would not want to see LeBron versus Zion? Like, that's definitely a big matchup that I want to see, and I want to see those teams that's like on the bubble make it, because now I feel like everybody's at an even playing field. Nobody's playing. Everybody's just working out, doing little workouts here and there, and when you're not playing, you kind of lose that little momentum and that groove you had. So now it's like everybody's at an even playing field. Now you got to really just come out and hoop and really play. Like now we got to see who grit and grind for real. That's what I feel.
For me, I think I would appreciate the 20 to 22 and do the playing tournament just to throw something new into something that we haven't normally seen. Because at the end of the day, this is unprecedented time, so why not try to do unprecedented things? Because everybody's going to be in the same playing field. They're playing in the same location, no home court advantage. And honestly, that gives teams like the Pelicans, the Blazers, a chance to be in the playoffs, because I'm not going to lie, Memphis is good, but do I really want to see Memphis in there? Like, if I have 3 teams, Memphis, Portland, and New Orleans, play against the Lakers, Memphis is going to be the last one. Because at the end of the day, if Portland has a better storyline between Dame Lillard and Carmelo versus LeBron and AD, then you got Zion. But not only is it not Zion, it's Zion and Lonzo, Brandon Ingram, who was ex-Lakers, going against the Lakers in the first round of the playoffs. Like, who would not want to see that?
Don't forget Josh Hart.
Yo, he's such a burger. Don't even bring him up.
Who did he just say? Josh Hart? What?
Yeah.
Yo, he said Josh Hart.
Yeah, ex-Laker though. That's why I said it.
Now, he is an ex-Laker though. I mean, don't get me wrong. Josh Hart is cool people, man. I ain't gonna lie, but I'm not gonna put that with Lonzo and Bi and Zion. I kind of do want to see Bradley Beal in that 8th seed. Who the 8th seed? Orlando? I'm not mistaken.
I think the Wizards are currently the 9th seed, and I think if it's the 22, they get in. And I'm pretty sure if you did the 20, they could even get in. I could be wrong on that, but I think if it was 20.
I think they said if it's the 20 teams that comes in, I think it's like the 16 plus like 4 Western Conference teams. They didn't say nothing about the Wizards.
All right, so it's the 22 then that gets the Wizards in. Hey,
Yeah.
Bradley Beal was having a hell of a season, averaging 30-plus points per game almost. He was killing it. John Wall might be able to come back and play this season if they return. They're not scary, but, it'll be fun to see them back, and it'll be good for Wall to get the rust off a little bit, even if it's only for the couple warm-up games and then the 4 playoff games they play.
Yeah.
Man, bring back, apart from the crowds, bring back all 30 teams. Let them play the rest of the regular season. I ain't trying to hear none of that rubbish. They want to force sports to come back, to try and get the country back to normal. They want to open shit up during the Rona. They want to do all of that. All right, do it at the full scale that you wanted to do, apart from bringing the crowds into it, since they want to make their money. Bring back all 30 teams, play the rest of the games that they have for the rest of the regular season, and then whoever gets into the playoffs through that, they get in through that. Simple as that. That's how I feel on it, and that's what I'm sticking to. Next, we got the playoff situation. I think the Pelicans was gonna make the playoffs regardless of what however, whoever other teams were in the chase, I don't think the Blazers was gonna make it in because the Blazers ripped apart their team defensively, and Damian Lillard can't carry it by himself, and they just out of whack chemistry wise.
Hold on.
He already looking at a cop out, talking about how if the Blazers don't have no realistic chance of making the playoffs, he not gonna play the rest of the games. So
Right.
that's dead. That's dead on that.
Right.
Y'all sleeping on my boy Drew Holiday. I'm not gonna go into
Oh, here we
I'm
go.
not gonna go into that.
Oh
I'm
my
not gonna go into
God.
that. But yeah, I want to see if they're gonna bring back the A, bring it back with all the teams and have them play the rest of the games the rest of the season, and then you figure it out from there. Because it doesn't make sense that now, because you ended your season early and there's still a pandemic going on, you're gonna try to bring it back and then change up things. No, if you're gonna bring it back in its full capacity apart from the fans.
Yo, you
Hey.
really believe this, don't you?
If T's gonna bring up his boy Drew, that's why I want to see the 20 teams. I want to see my boy 3J in the playoffs, get a couple buckets. Like
Who?
CJ McCollum, 3J McCollum, baby.
First of all, the Blazers not gonna make the playoffs.
If they do the 20 teams, he will. They'll be in the playoffs.
That's why I don't want to do the 20 teams, because it's a cop out, bro. It's a cop out. Nah, play all the games and let them struggle like how they've been struggling. Let them figure it out. Don't give nobody no easy way outs.
I can see the league wanting to do the 20 teams in the playoffs or the 22 teams in the playoffs because they've lost so much money this season. Where if you do the extra teams in the playoffs, you'll be able to generate back just that small portion of the revenue that you won't be able to if you only do the 16 teams.
But George, if I'm not mistaken, I thought it was like a play-in tournament for the last two spots.
That was one of the suggested.
I'm not. I think that could be. That's definitely one of the formats. There's different ones that they're throwing around.
I think
Regardless, the more teams you bring back, the more revenue you can try to make back from the losses. Because you can even bring back all 30 teams, and I'm pretty sure all 30 teams are going to figure out a way to be on ESPN and TNT. I'm sure every game they play will be aired on TV to some capacity.
We're gonna have a marathon. It's gonna be like a matinee. You're gonna have teams playing back to back to back, and ESPN who basically have a clean slate. They're gonna be playing all the games, or if they have TV contracts with let's say TNT, and they're trying to split it, then you're gonna have some games on ESPN, some games on TNT, and that's how that's gonna be.
Well, ESPN because they're trying to play in Disney, and Disney.
That's true.
So games is going to be on ESPN regardless.
Exactly, that's true.
TNT, I don't know, but I know games going to be on ESPN regardless.
Anything else, guys, basketball wise? Let's all choose. Everyone state who you think the champion's going to be this year in case it does come back. We'll have it right here. We can have some bragging rights in a few months. If it does come back, I'm going to start. I think the Lakers. I think Bron's getting that fourth. Jared, go next because we already know what yours is, brother.
Purple and gold. Till I die.
I already said I'm sided with Jared. I already said the Lakers is the team to beat. They got the King James. They got the GOAT, and I think he gonna secure that ring. Give guys like AD and Jared Dudley a ring before Carmelo type shit, But hey, hey. That's how it be sometimes. It is what it is.
That's alone, man. Leave Jake Dudley alone. That's my guy. I ain't gonna lie. That's my guy.
Well, since we talking about LA, we talk about the battle of LA, I'm gonna have to go with my guy, the Claw and the Clipper boys. They think they gotta their team is just too much. They all on one accord. So I'm gonna go
allegedly too much.
And I just think they got too much, man.
I'm just saying, all of a sudden, Reggie Jackson's relevant again because the Clippers decided to sign him. It's not how that's going to work.
That's okay. I mean, I think y'all got your own opinions. I'm entitled to mine, I think.
I know. I'm just saying, we haven't had this conversation. We never really talked about the Reggie Jackson signing, but
I think it was a great signing.
John, who do you
If
think the champion's going to
if,
be? Bro?
if Reggie Jackson is the X factor for the Clippers, it's a no from me, dog.
I didn't say he was the X factor. I just said I think he's a great signing because when I watch him play with that team,
You don't put no fear in my heart.
That's okay. That's cool. He plays his role well, and he plays defense. So
Hey, that's his role. Play defense.
So I'm
he
gonna
scores very good for them too on that offense. So that's why I say it's a great signing.
I'm gonna go ahead and go Rodney's way and go different from the Lakers, even though I think the Lakers have the best chance to win the championship. And I'm gonna go out west too, since everybody want to go to the east. I'm gonna go out west, man. I know the Toronto Raptors are like the defending champs right now.
Wait, come on, bro. Everybody went to the west, and you said we going to.
What happened? I didn't even make my pick. Why you laughing? What happened?
Because you said y'all went out, y'all all went out east. I'm just going to the west. And I was like, oh, we all said Western Conference East.
He definitely said it right, I thought.
I definitely said east.
He
going out
definitely
east.
said that shit wrong.
I thought I heard you right, John. I know what you were saying, bro.
All right.
No,
well,
you knew what he was saying, but that's not what he said.
We're recording, so I'll just listen back. I'm gonna go ahead.
Replay.
You gonna watch this? You gonna listen to this podcast? You gonna laugh your ass off when you realize you made a mistake like that.
All right. Well, in the event that I made a mistake, I'm gonna go out east since everybody else went out west, and I'm gonna choose the Milwaukee Bucks to go ahead and be the 2020 NBA
The
champions.
Greek freak.
Yeah, I think he learned a lot in the last playoff run. You know what I'm saying? And defending champions don't have their superstar anymore, so I don't think they have a chance to. So there's really nobody out east that can really stop them. You know, Philly, I think, is still young. You know what I'm saying? Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons are a crazy duo. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think they have the right X factors. I think losing Jimmy Butler and JJ was pretty heavy for him. More Jimmy than JJ, obviously. But yeah, my pick is the Milwaukee Bucks.
All right. So the only thing I have to disagree with you is the Raptors still have NBA champion Kyle Lowry, and with him, anything is possible.
Oh, yeah, not that man Lowry.
Don't think the Bucks are safe, bro. Kyle Lowry can snap for 30 any night.
Hey, can we talk about sleeper teams? Like my sleeper team is Miami.
To do what?
To do what?
To have a chance.
Bro, okay.
Mine's the Rockets.
Okay. Cool.
Well, we talking about sleeper teams?
Yeah.
Sleeper teams. I go with them Clipper niggas.
That wouldn't be a sleeper though. They're like they're a front runner, bro.
He just wants to make sure he called the champion.
They're number 2 seed in the West. How they a sleeper?
Listen, they sleeping because the front runner is LA. Everybody else is way in the back.
We're gonna cut Jared off.
All right.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you why I chose the Rockets. So I chose the Rockets because at the beginning of the season, I thought they were either going to the Western Conference Finals or at least the Finals, depending on the road they got. Since they traded their center, I don't know if I'm as confident in them, but I still think they can do some major damage. And that boy James Harden dropped 20 pounds since this whole quarantine started. So, hey, they're gonna be scary.
James Harden lost 20 pounds.
Yes, sir.
You ain't see him.
Hey, he gonna get drug tested. Watch, I'm telling you, he gonna get drug tested.
Nah, but for real, honestly, if I had to go with a sleeper team, I'd probably go with Denver.
Ooh, I like that.
I'll go with Denver. I think they learned a lot. I think they learned from last year a lot because they lost in Game 7 in the second round.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they learned and they brought everybody back.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they added Michael Porter Jr. And I think Michael Porter Jr. is gonna
bust.
Relax.
Wow.
Relax. Ain't no bust.
Bust is crazy.
I wanted to go a different route, but based off of what Jared said, I kind of agree with him on that because I think they can be this year's Portland. They can knock off a team that, like how Portland knocked off OKC. They can knock off a team that's really good or has a lot of talent on paper and ends up sneaking their way into the conference finals or maybe even the finals. I doubt that. I doubt that heavily because LeBron James is on the same conference as them. All right, let me stop. But they have a solid team that, like Jared said, brought back everybody, and they have that playoff experience. Apart from them, the first team I was thinking of was Dallas.
Yeah, that's my pick too.
Dallas has a lot of talent, and they got a lot of players that can pick up slack or pick up the load when one of their stars is not performing to their usual standards.
But I think Dallas is too young, man.
Facts.
I think Luka is too young. Because at the end of the day, playoff basketball is different. Like, you got to go against the same team potentially 7 times. Like, they're going to know your ins and outs. They're going to know every move you do. And I don't think Luka is prepared for that.
You're right. But Luka has that playoff experience. Luka has that. Luka has that championship experience, that do or die experience.
Yeah.
Now
Porzingis
on the other hand, I don't know. You know,
You talking about EuroLeague?
he was a EuroLeague
KP got
MVP and a EuroLeague champion at 19.
Series though, bro.
You said what?
They didn't do like a 7-game series in EuroLeague.
That's my point. That's why I said he knows a do or die. He knows, like, okay, I can't have an off night and we end up losing the chip. I have to be great each and every night in this tournament format.
But that's a little bit.
He has that do or die.
It's a different though when you play in one game and I'm 7 games. I'm scouting every move that you do.
Yeah, I mean, Luka they've been scouting Luka the entire season, and he's still cooking.
Oh my God!
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
that boy's different.
It's different stuff. Different in the playoff atmosphere.
And I also believe they have a very underrated coach.
That's the angle I was gonna take, T. I think Rick Carlisle is a hell of a coach, and with the talent that he has, I feel like he can be able to make the adjustments needed. Now, I'm not saying that they can make a deep run in the playoffs, but I'm saying that's my sleeper team because of the fact that they have a lot of talent, they have a deep bench, and they have a very, very, very good coach who's been coaching for a while. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not new to the playoffs at all. So
yeah, he got a chip.
That's what I'm saying. He got a chip against Braun. Like,
come on, bro. You don't got to say all that now.
You feel me? So I feel like he has a lot of talent. The most talent that he's had in a while.
I agree.
So if I had to pick a sleeper team,
to the Knicks.
I'm going with Dallas. Like shout out to the Knicks.
Shout out to the Knicks management. Oh man, I know a lot of New York fans not gonna like that, but shout out to Knicks management. As New Yorkers, we can talk shit about the Knicks.
I mean, well, that's all you can do.
How much positive going on over there? That's why if you're from New York, the Nets are the way to go. They're winning.
Nah. 2025 is our year. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, 2021.
Y'all say that every 5 years. 2025, 2030.
I ain't gonna hold you.
Shut up.
If the Knicks don't get LaMelo Ball, bro.
Bro,
if the Knicks don't get any of the top 3, bro, oh my God.
We're not talking about the draft today. We gotta save that. We don't know when the draft gonna be. We gotta save the draft talk.
You're right.
The Knicks to the G League.
But I ain't gonna hold you. They just need to sell. The Knicks just need to stop being a franchise. They need to regroup. They need to regroup and start from scratch.
Or send them to Seattle.
I ain't saying all of that. Seattle needs to get their own. They need to bring back their own team. You know what I'm saying? They could do like what MJ did with the Bobcats, and then take back the name and whatever. Because
nasty jerseys again. Okay.
No. What? No, I'm saying like how the Hornets moved to New Orleans, and then MJ brought the Bobcats, and then when they became the Pelicans, he turned the Bobcats back into the Hornets. I'm saying, Seattle can do that because the name is free. Ain't nobody in the NBA using the Supersonic name. So if if an owner decides to bring a team back to Seattle, boom, right there, he already got the name, the Supersonics, and it's simple as that.
All right, I see what you're saying.
All right, enough with basketball. We talked a lot of basketball. That was good. It's a good introduction to our basketball knowledge and how much we enjoy the game. We're going to get plenty more into it, especially over the next few weeks as more information comes out. So let's go a little bit more serious. We'll talk about everything that's going on in the world right now. Before we start this topic, we're a new podcast, but a lot of things aren't going to be off limits for what we talk about. Listen to us with an open mind and create the discussion with us. That's going to be the biggest thing. So we're talking about the George Floyd murder, the riots that are going on. What do you guys want to say? What have you guys seen? I know, Ja, you've been out in the city a bit. I went through Rochester yesterday. Rodney, I know you were through Rochester yesterday. What have you guys seen? What do you guys want to talk about? What's on your guys' minds? How do you guys feel?
I'll start off. I think the situation that's happened to Mr. Floyd was tragic, and his life was snatched from him. And I hate to see that. I hate to see anyone die. And me being a 23-year-old black man in America, it hurts because people that look like me are getting their life snatched from them. And it just seemed like no matter what's been done over the years, we always end up back at this point. And just like I'm a person that loves people and want everybody to be loved and want everybody to be unified, and just tough seeing all this right now as far as the protesting. I get it. I understand that protesting needs to happen for change, and I back them. As far as the riot and looting and stuff like that, I feel like those are opportunists, and they defeat the purpose of what's going on here. I'm a person that you don't fight violence with violence, and that's just how I was raised. And like I said, I want everybody to be loved and everybody to be unified. So it's definitely taking a mental and emotional toll on me because of how I've been raised and what I believe in. And, I don't have all the answers, but I've definitely been thinking about ways of how I can help people out in this time, because I know it's tough for everybody. And so, like I said, and just let it be known, I love everybody on this podcast, and we one day we're gonna wake up and things will be different, and I hope things will be better and things will change.
Before anyone else jumps in, I want to back up Rodney on that. I think love is huge at this time. Throughout all these crazy times, love is what we all need. Love is what everyone needs as a group. And we got to spread that. We have to spread that while spreading the ideas that we believe in and trying to make the progressive change that we want to see.
Yeah. Prayers, man. That too.
Yeah, for sure. Before I start, I'd just like to say rest in peace, George Floyd. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, Breonna Taylor. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Rest in peace to my son nephew, Junior, man.
Yes,
You know what
sir.
I'm saying? Obviously, so the angle I'm gonna take on this is that we just gotta stay safe, man. And growing up in New York City, like I've had the police talk, a million times. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of have to be well versed in police interaction, but when stuff like this happens, I think it's very important for me, especially since, I am a black man, for me to go out and show my support just with my face, you know what I'm saying? Just with my presence there, when I'm out in the city, I know I see a lot of Latinos. I see a lot of people with Caribbean descent, leading the protests. A lot of people with Hispanic descent, people from Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic, people that are just native to the Bronx, leading. And I see that the people of African American descent, they're supporting, but they understand the power in their voice and their blackness. I think the biggest thing that I've seen so far is the strength of the black women that I've seen
Yes, sir.
these protests. And this has been extremely emotionally taxing on me. But one thing that I saw today that made me definitely like just pick up my spirits is Corey Wise. I don't know if you guys know the story of Corey Wise, but he's a part of the Exonerated Five. He was
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
tormented by the police for 14 years, wrongfully prosecuted. You know what I'm saying? And then he was just released a few years ago. He was out protesting. You know what I'm saying? And if he can, swallow his pride and step out with the masses and just be a part of that, even though that may be traumatic for him, I definitely have to do my part and, say, obviously stay safe, you know what I'm saying? Because I definitely realize that even stepping out of this house, because like there's still like a pandemic going on. You feel me?
Yeah.
And
Lost right now.
you know what I'm saying? And like I live with my mom and my little sister, you know what I'm saying? So I definitely have to be mindful of going out into places and spaces where I may be exposed to different things. You know what I'm saying? So that's also a risk, and I've definitely been mitigating those risks. You know what I'm saying? Wearing my mask, you know what I'm saying, my gloves or whatever. But yeah, man, I don't know where we gonna end up in this, but I'm definitely down for the fight. And as for the looting and the rioting and stuff, I definitely want to make sure that the people that look like us aren't being filmed. You know what I'm saying? And that stuff is not being put on social media because they could get in trouble. And I don't want them to engage in that because it's a lot of the people that aren't black and people that aren't really down for the cause that are starting the looting and starting the rioting. You know what I'm saying? And things are being placed in our way. So just strategically, the police can turn a peaceful protest into riot control. You know what I'm saying? So we definitely need to.
Agent provocateurs.
For sure. So I've definitely been trying to do my best to stay out of those spaces, and definitely when the sun goes down, that's when the most when the protests get very, when that's not the protests, I would say the police get very antsy. You know what I'm saying? One thing that I found super interesting, I told y'all this the other day in the chat, is that they're police that are being imported from other precincts. So that when we do protest, we aren't seeing the police officers that we're normally seeing in our communities. You know what I'm saying? I think that's extremely interesting. You know, but yeah, man, I'll let somebody else go.
I mean, I'm sorry to interrupt, but yeah, you look. I think being imported and seeing different police as a strategic. I'm sorry, I'm stuttering. Is you know what I'm trying to say, but because people,
This ain't funny, but
nah, people. It's funny. You can laugh. I stutter. I do it all the time, but police officers that's home. It's hard to see the people that you see every day and try to police them. So a police officer that's not from there, they ain't gonna have the same emotion of somebody that's been policing in that same area all the time. And that's the strategy. Like you can't a person that's it's gonna hit home for a person that's out there in a protest and they're gonna feel some way. But a person that's not from there, that's just walking into a situation and say, I need you to police these people and keep them under control. They're gonna do their job because they don't have the same feeling as a person that was there their whole life.
I wanted to speak after Rodney spoke the first time on this topic because although I agree partially with Rodney about he doesn't want violence and he want love and peace to be the foremost idea and ideology during this protest. I want to say this, that from the beginning of time, violence has always been used effectively and has brought about peace. Violence has always been the first means, and then negotiation came after because of the violence.
Mm-hmm.
Even so, with the American Revolution, the people in the colonies were protesting against taxes on tea.
Right.
When they protested on the taxes against the tea, they didn't send letters by mail or carrier pigeon back to England. They burnt down the ships that the tea came on. They threw the tea into the Boston Harbor. That's how we ended up having the Boston Tea Party.
Yeah.
That was the first of us, as we should say, a violent protest. That was the first riot. Then you had the American Revolution, where they literally went to war. Literally went to war against the crown to become an independent country. That's when you look at it from a neutral perspective. The colony, the people in the colonies, those soldiers who fought for independence, to the crown, they would be considered domestic terrorists.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's literally what they was doing. They were using violence as for political gain and intimidation. Their political gain ended up being independence. We can move further down. We can move further up the timeline towards the Civil War. Violence again was being used by the South and the Confederacy to gain independence and through sedition from the North, from the Union.
Yeah.
And through that violence is how Black people gained emancipation from slavery. Lincoln used the Civil War and the freedom of slaves to his advantage and gave them the opportunity to join the Union. And if the Union won the war, we Black people would be free in the United States. Another violent encounter or violent event that brought about a peaceful outcome. So I understand that, you know, we all want peace and we all want justice in this country. But I believe it was Malcolm X who said you have to use the language that your enemy understands to gain any ground with your enemy.
Yes, he said that.
So if you're dealing with a systemic and institutionalized problem, because it's not just a few bad apples like some of them say, it's literally across the country, state by state, in their training. This is how police are being trained to see civilians as a threat at all times, to always think that anybody around you is a threat. They're training them to use these tactics against civilians. They're not training them to de-escalate. They're training them to, like, hey, you shoot first, and if they're not a threat, then you're sorry, and at the end of the day, you get to go home. They're not taking into account that that person wants to go home too. They're not worried about themselves. So to deal with this systemic and institutionalized issue that of violence that's being used against the civilian populace in this country, you're gonna have to meet it and make the person or individuals that are committing these acts of violence against the populace, you're gonna have to make them feel the empathy that they want, that you would have for a person that was a victim of this of that violence. So if the police understood how Black people feel when a cop is behind them in a car, or when they're walking down the street and they see cops staring at them or whatever, thinking that, you know, I ain't do nothing, I have done nothing wrong, I'm complying or I'm cooperating. And then, you know, they do all the right things and they still end up getting assaulted, their rights violated, and even killed in the most extremes, as we see with our brother George Floyd. Then you have to think you're not gonna get anything out of this situation if you don't react the same way that these police are reacting. Because I'll tell you what, I'm with beating the shit out of those officers and making sure that man is alive at the end of the day. Because look at that, everybody recorded, nobody helped him, and now that man's dead. He ain't coming back.
T, I get it. I get what you're saying, and you gave great historical context of how violence has shaped and shown peace. And I truly I do understand that is necessary, and I get it. And I'm not saying you're wrong at all. I totally understand it. It just, like I said, and I don't want to discredit what you said. It's just tough because I was raised just so differently, and that's why I said, it's tough. I just want everybody to love one another and be unified. But I totally get where you're coming from as far as the historical context of violence, how the result was peace, and that's sometimes that's how it has to go.
And I'm not gonna say that I don't agree with you about the looting. Like, I don't think that people should be breaking into small businesses in their community, because that could be your uncle's shop that you just broke into, and then boom, you stealing out your own family shop and your own neighbor's shop. And I don't agree with that. But the whole concept that the, as they would say, turn the other cheek. Hey, if I'm dead, I can't turn the other cheek.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that
You know
at
what I'm
all.
saying?
I mean, but Rodney, sometimes it's hard to. Sometimes it's hard to preach love. Like, I love everybody, I love everything, but at a point, when is enough, man?
Mm-hmm.
When is it? Like, it has happened every damn year, man. Every 4 years, Eric Gardner, Sean Bell, and these are just the popular stories. These are not the untold stories that's in the neighborhoods right now.
Exactly.
And it's not just not. And I don't want to just. I know everybody on this shed light on the police officer, but sometimes, bro, there's other racism out here that's not being popularized. Like, as for George Floyd, man, I like that shit made me sick to my stomach, man. But who I really feel bad for is his family, man. Like, somebody that lost a dear loved one of mine, my nephew, to racism, and I gotta deal with that shit every fucking day. So I feel bad for George Floyd family. I can just, you don't know what he left. He got children. How the children gotta grow up. But like, sometimes this shit is enough. Enough is enough, man. I don't condone the looting, the riots and all that, but I understand some of them niggas' pains, man. Like, now you going to a store that got nothing to do with, come on, that's out of control. But sometimes I feel their pain is like, I don't condone it, I wouldn't do it, but I understand their pain, because sometimes enough is enough. And like T said, sometimes violence is the answer. Because sometimes that obviously, bro, we sitting here, we try to do a peaceful protest for years after years, and y'all not listening. So how about I hit you in your face? You gonna listen in?
Exactly. Open up your eyes.
Open it up. So I don't like I said, I don't condone rioting and stuff, man. But enough is enough, man.
And to be clear, I'm not advocating for full-on violence against the police in the sense of, I'm gonna just walk down the street and just shoot a cop type shit. No, I'm advocating for minorities, especially in this country, to be able to arm themselves and protect themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The Black Panthers started WIC. The Black Panthers promoted the Second Amendment and black people arming themselves to protect themselves against their oppressors, against police. So I'm with all of this, because when those protesters for opening up the country had their ARs on the Capitol buildings in their respective states, they wasn't being met with the force that these protesters are being met with. If I walk down the street with an AR in New York City, I'm likely to get shot.
Yeah. And like I said, y'all, I agree with y'all what y'all saying. I'm not saying I don't. I'm just on a little bit of the lighter side of it now. I had some days to think about it, and I agree with.
And don't get me wrong, I agree with you. I just come with an understanding of. I understand what they're going through. I understand why.
Yeah, I know you. I know you out of all people understand that. And like I said, bro, I'm sorry, and I pray for you too, man, because I know that's tough.
I mean, but I mean, I'm just here to shine the light on the untold stories, man.
Mm-hmm.
And I got my own opinions of some of these people. I got my own opinion of sometimes people just doing it for popularity, but that's my own opinion, and I'm gonna stick to it. But on the brighter side, on the grand scheme of things, though, that shit should have never happened to George Floyd, man.
It
And
never should.
I think all four of them motherfuckers should get locked up, and I hope they all get locked up, and I hope they all go to general population with a whole bunch of black people in that shit. To be honest, bro, because that shit is unfair. You got people watching, like, how you sit there and watch a nigga say, I can't breathe, calling out for his mother at 56.
Yeah.
You just as bad as watching as the man's doing it because you watching it.
True. I told my friend, and I don't know if maybe this relate. I was like, what do you when you see me? What do you see? And he gave me a list of things that he saw, and they were all positive things. And I said, see, the thing is, you see that. And I said, the next man that when we walk out here and we outside in the public, they might not ever see me in that way, or might not ever give me a chance to be seen in that way. And that's the problem.
To pivot off that, to what Jared was saying, though, so Derek, I'm not even gonna say Duke name, but Duke that had his knee on our brother's neck. He's been arrested and charged with murder, third degree murder. So if you don't know, third degree is there was no intent. There was no intent to violence, but a murder just happened to happen, And when we get facts like how he knew George Floyd for 17 years, or how many other years, and he had umpteen how many complaints, you know what I'm saying? And then another video surfaces of it. It can we see the car rocking. George is in the car, and we see the police officers reaching in the car. The car's moving back and forth. It looks like there's an altercation in the car, So it seems as if our brother was in the vehicle. He was pulled out of the vehicle, and the violence ensued. You know what I'm saying? So I just hope that we get justice for our brother first and foremost. But
Yeah.
something's got to change, man. It's a systemic thing, man. One of the crazier things that I experienced in the past few days protesting is, man, I was in front of the 40th precinct. There was a whole bunch of police officers that weren't from that precinct there, but they were standing there, and a police officer that I knew, I've been in multiple interactions with this police officer. I'm not gonna say her name, but she recognized my face. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't say a word, and I could just see her. She just started crying because I could tell she had a conscience. You know what I'm saying? And that was just one of the emotion that I felt from that. You know what I mean? Because it's crazy, man. It's like your life will really seriously end like just in an instant. You know what I'm saying? And that's a scary thing to think about every time you gotta lay your head down at night. You know what I'm saying? And even walking out, to even participate in these protests, knowing that things could get out of hand. And did y'all see that video of the NYPD SUV driving through the? That's crazy, bro.
Yeah,
that's crazy. That was on the other side of where I was at. You feel me? Like that could have just as well been me. You feel me? So it's just.
And I'm glad you brought that up because people don't understand that police have a reputation that precedes the person that's wearing the uniform.
Mm-hmm.
Like the person, when they take off that uniform, they go home. Like nobody is walking the street and be looking at them and be like, "Fuck them," I don't give a fuck. Like nobody's saying that because we don't know them. We minding our business. But as soon as they put that uniform on, everything changes because of the history and the reputation that's behind that uniform, behind that badge.
And just hold on, T. Just to piggyback off y'all, not all cops is bad, man. Not all cops.
Yeah, and that's why I was touching on with the
Agreed.
uniform situation.
I just want to speak on the stupid motherfuckers that make niggas look bad. Like one of my best friends is a cop.
Mhm.
Not all cops is bad, man. And some of them, and I feel bad for some of these cops because some of these people are really good men and really are good cops.
Yeah, that could be true, Jared.
It's the bad apples that make shit look bad, man.
But here's the thing, though, Jared. There's a reason why they have that bullshit called a thin blue line.
Mhm.
That's they hide behind that. Like cops support cops. They don't. You're not gonna hear. You didn't as we saw with the video of George Floyd's murder. There was cops that were complicit, and one of them just stood by watching. To make sure nobody else tried to get those cops off that man's neck and off that man's back. Like if you could have bad apples, you could have one bad apple in an entire precinct. You got one bad apple in an entire city. If none of the good cops are pointing out that man's a bad apple and that man's losing, or that man or woman is being held accountable, then they're not doing their job. They're not. I can't consider them good cops because they're complicit to the bullshit.
But that's
They're
not
silent.
all,
They're silent to the bullshit.
that's not all cops.
How you saying that's not all cops, but you may be right because we don't have the police records of who goes to internal affairs or who's under review for the disciplinary actions. We don't have that's not public. It should be public record, but we don't get to just walk into a police station or walk into a courthouse and be like, I would like to have the public records of all police officers in the disciplinary records. You know what I'm saying? We don't get that. I'm not saying that I think all cops are inherently bad. Nothing is inherently bad. But you cannot be saying that you're a good cop and then you're complicit to another cop violating somebody's rights, another cop using excessive force. You can't be complicit to them things and then say you're a good cop.
Oh no.
All right.
That because you badass too. If you condoning it, you just as bad.
No, but it's not always. That's not always condoning. Being complicit and condoning are two different things. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
if you be complicit and condoning, if you not sitting up there and saying fuck the badge and this is as a human being this is wrong, then you bad as well.
Exactly.
Exactly, because like I saw there was a video earlier of a cop who attacked. Let me rephrase that. There was a cop who took down a protester who looked at, I believe he was looting, and another cop helped him. And then the first cop had his knee on the person's neck, the same way how the cop that killed George Floyd had his knee on his neck. And it took people yelling, "Get your knee off his neck," for the second officer to physically grab the man's leg and pull it off of that man's neck. That's why I've said before that it's the training that these guys, it's a systemic training that these guys have that is that is horrible, it's horrendous, and that their first thought is not, oh, you're another human being and the situation like this just happened and this is why you're out here. Their first thought is like, all right, I'm gonna take you down. I'm gonna do what I gotta do to make sure that you can't hurt me, and then whatever happens after. You know what I'm saying? There's no care behind it.
For a fact. But just to wrap up everything, man, I just once again rest in peace, George Floyd. Rest in peace,
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna jump in. I'm gonna jump in to wrap this section up. So, like Ja was just saying, rest in peace, George Floyd. Rest in peace to everybody who's had their life shortly ended because of law enforcement pushing their boundaries with their power. I don't understand 100%. You guys,
it's racism.
Racism. You're correct. 100% correct. I don't understand your guys' struggles fully. Obviously, I come from a different background. But in the end, we are all the same. We are all people. We are all humans. That's where the love comes in. I support you guys. I support the change we need. And I stand with you guys and everyone else that's fighting this fight because racism has to stop. This goes into a conversation me, Rodney, and T had recently just on PlayStation alone. It was a couple weeks back, and I was saying how we are going to be the generation when we get towards the end of our life that will help push a major change in terms of racism and seeing a difference in this world.
Yes,
And
sir.
this could very well be the start of that change. And obviously, it's not going to happen right away. We're going to talk about this a million times more. This is our platform. We're going to speak on this platform. This is relevant to you guys. This is relevant to me. We have to talk about this. This is huge. But hopefully, all of this will lead into the changes we need to see over the next couple of decades, even just the next couple of immediate years, to see no more racism one day, to see the less abuse of power, and just to have a better world for everyone to live in.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Nah, this is not funny, but I saw this video. But I was just hearing George talk just now, right? And I seen this video of this white guy. He was like in the middle of a crowd, and he was like saying all these really great things, and then he was like, "Niggers aren't just black." Yo, everybody was like,
You should not
huh?
laugh at that, man.
Everybody was like, huh? Yo, I thought George about to get it off. I thought he was about to let the clip fly.
Oh wait, you talking about the fat white dude?
Yeah, with the Timbs and with the
Yeah,
Yetters.
like he had everybody for a minute, like yeah, and everybody was like, oh no.
Nah,
Oh,
but
man.
my
You
favorite
almost had it.
video,
You almost had it.
my favorite video from that we've all been sharing recently was the one that T sent yesterday. The guy with the MAGA hat. He pulled up. He was ready to come protest. Everyone saw he had that MAGA hat on. His day ended real quick.
Bro, I just don't understand like what has to go through your mind for you even to think of like trying to counter protest while everyone's like wild and emotional. So like what goes through your mind? Like that dude
That's
that pulled
what
out
they
the bow.
want. That's what they want. That's a ploy that they're gonna use to encourage their viewpoint and their standpoint on the situation. That's why the president was saying, you know, MAGA let's have a MAGA day. The MAGA come out. Like you already know your polling is zero within the African American community. And I'm not even joking. Like it's literally zero. It's been horrendous for 2 years now.
Zero.
Like this shit is terrible.
I don't know if I
Some people just
told you
want to
this.
get beat up.
I don't know if I told y'all this, but what was super interesting, I went down to a protest in Folly Square that ended up at the Barclay Center. Before we left Folly Square, there was a councilwoman. I forget her name escapes me at the moment, but there was a city councilwoman, and there was Russian media out there interviewing her. I thought that was very interesting that there would be international media, especially Russian media, in an election year, interviewing a councilwoman at a protest.
Was it Russia Today? Because they have American based media.
I do not remember. I just remember that when I got a chance to speak with her, she was coming off of the interview from Russian media. So yeah.
All right,
fellas.
Dispel that.
All right. Has everyone got everything we want to say this week? We're going to touch on this plenty more. I'm sure we will.
Yeah, definitely.
Over the next few. So let's get into our last topic. Let's talk about music since the pandemic started. What have you guys liked? What have you guys not liked?
Somebody play Outstanding.
Hey, Go Gunna dropped the whole album that I love.
Yeah, it's a no for me, dog.
We got Slime and B, Chris Brown, and Young Thug mixtape that I really like too. I think the last album that I've been listening to that grew on me is definitely Drake's Dark Lane demo tapes.
Tough. Drake. I haven't gone back to Drake in a while. I don't know why. But the album I've been listening to very, very recently is Kehlani's album. I really, really like
Kehlani's album was tough.
I really, really enjoy Kehlani's album. Lil Durk album, and Chef G, man. Chef G, that's my guy. I really like it. And an album that just came out that I really like is Alfredo. I don't know if I listen to Freddie Gibbs, but
Yes,
he
sir.
dropped that
Freddie
album.
Gibbs, sir.
Him and the Alchemist. I really like the Alchemist more than I like Freddie Gibbs. So I listened to the album and then
Yes,
I
sir. I
enjoy
haven't
it.
listened to it yet, but I can't.
Benny the
Interesting.
Benny the Butcher had a crazy verse on there. So if you don't listen to anything, go listen to that Benny the Butcher track. That junk goes hard. I ain't gonna lie.
Mhm.
Oh, Moneybagg Yo had a good little album too, though. I ain't gonna lie.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I mean,
shut up.
I'm just saying interesting,
Nigga
bro.
like, nigga like, word.
I ain't gonna hold you. I don't know half them albums. Like,
Yeah,
Tune
you
in.
ever listen
I
You
don't
ever
know
listen to
half them
Soca
shit.
and
I'm saying
reggae, that's
interesting
why.
for myself because I'm probably gonna go listen to some of them shit now. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm
Okay.
saying. Interesting.
Yeah,
Listen
I'm
to
taking
Soca and
notes.
yeah.
Of course. Always got the new dance hall and the new soca on deck. You already know that's the Caribbean vibes in me. I'm gonna stick. You already know. Pull up the tune, all of that. But I gotta say, Lord Hendrix, you know, his mixtape had
His
a lot of heat
that
on
was
it.
album.
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
I apologize. Album.
Josh Leader
According
dropped
to
a great
Jared,
album.
Lord Hendrix dropped the album. One of my favorite tracks on that album is Solitaire. That's with Travis Scott. You know, him and Future got good chemistry on beats, and they dropped some fire shit.
Yes,
Who else?
sir.
I mean, other part from that, I've been listening to Megan Thee Stallion's last album. You know what I'm saying? Y'all
Meg is
might not
tough.
be on that
Nah,
type
nah,
of
nah.
vibe,
Meg is
but
tough. Meg is
Megan,
tough.
thank you. Megan is tough. I sing that shit spiritually and religiously. You know what I'm saying? That shit is fire.
That nigga want to be a stallion so bad, boy.
Nah, but
Whoa.
I ain't gonna hold you. I like
Relax, relax.
female. I
Relax.
really like female rap. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. Like,
Yes, sir.
A lot of
bro.
female rappers are very talented.
Yo,
Nah,
Nah,
they
speaking
are.
of female
They are.
rappers,
I'm not gonna say they not.
speaking of
They are.
female rappers,
But
I've been listening to Big Drees.
Who?
Who?
Dreezy.
Oh,
Oh, I apologize. You said Big Drees?
I'm like,
Yeah, her album is called Big Drees. Dreezy. She's part of the Dreamsville
Oh,
tape.
okay.
okay.
Yes, sir. She's so tough.
Okay. Yeah, I gotta tune into that too.
Yes,
Nah,
sir. Rhapsody all
I've
the
been
way.
listening to Queen Key. I just love when the girls get into their bag and they start popping their shit, bro. I love it.
That's
I
a
love it.
fact.
I'll be singing up the top of my lungs.
That's a fact. One of my favorite tracks is Hot Girl for Meg, bro. Don't be mad, ho. Get a bag, ho. That's my shit. I ain't gonna-
Okay.
me, the music. For me, the music I've been listening to since quarantine is probably be Future
Lord
Dirk,
Hendrix.
and
Hendrix.
and Little Baby Deluxe. That my turn.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot. Shout out to Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny dropped the album recently, and that shit was fire.
Tough.
Shout out to Bad Bunny. All right,
Tough.
continue.
But yeah, so
We bilingual out here. My fault.
All right, man. We need to cut it.
George,
What's wrong with Bad Bunny?
All right. So, since this all started, some of the big hits for me. Obviously, The Weeknd's After Hours. It's gonna go down as the top albums of the year.
What?
I don't know about
We can got a
top
album?
album of the year. Good lord.
Yeah, where you been, bro? It's gonna be one of the top 5 albums of the year.
I'm
Y'all
sorry.
both.
you know
I'm
that.
sorry. Nah, I'm.
That's the shit with Blinding Lights on it and Heartless.
Oh, that was 2020. Tough.
The album just came out in March. It came out actually the first week we were all quarantined and forced in lockdown.
I'm surprised you didn't say Nav, but you know.
Hey, we're getting there. Stop spoiling stuff, bro. Let's relax. So that Tory Lanez, the new Toronto 3, that shit was
I like that too.
that was some good heat, you know.
It was mid compared to Chinks Tape 5, but I do like it.
Man said it was mid.
Unfortunately, because of all my housemates, I've had to hear "Blame It on Baby" one too many times. So yeah.
I don't like the album.
No, I mean it's the baby. I don't really care for him, but you know.
The baby is my guy. The baby's my guy. I just don't like that album. I don't know.
You can only get the same flow off so many times on different beats. That's all I'm saying. But
damn,
he's doing it, bro. He's doing it.
Yo, what's crazy is watch this. Yo, George, did you listen to Lil Baby album?
Yeah, so we're getting to Drake next.
I said George. The songs. He said I won't listen to it. I mean, still hasn't listened to it yet.
Listen, I've started it a couple of times. It's not bad. I gotta really sit down. Like I gotta be in my bag a little bit. You know, I gotta be like I'm focused on something and bump that, bro. Like I just haven't been able to sit down and focus on it. That's why. That's my fault.
Skater.
Of course, the last one, bro. Nav, good intentions. Nav, don't miss. Don't come in here with the negativity. If you ain't listen to Bad Habits and all of his other albums, I don't want to hear it because he don't miss.
Yeah, all right.
Heat of battle, he don't miss.
But I think there's been a lot of great music since the quarantine started, since this pandemic started, since all of it has started. And I know it's delayed a couple albums, but I think by the end of the year, 2020 is going to be one of the better years we've had recently for music. It's going to be, I don't know, what do you guys consider good years for music? I know 2018, but 2019 I thought stuff.
I'll have to do my
2016.
Yeah, I don't know. I know 2019. I just know
2015.
I just know 2019 was a really down year with a lot of artists taking off. So I'm glad 2020 is a year for music.
Yeah.
Kendrick.
I'm still waiting on Big Sean, Detroit too.
Yes, sir. We still got Big Sean. We got J. Cole still. We got Drake's actual album. We got Pop Smoke's album coming out in a couple weeks.
June 12th.
A lot of goodies.
Don't forget the best. Mr. Dot himself said he's coming back. Kendrick Lamar coming back.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Hey, and 21 Savage.
I'm still waiting on that J. Cole and Kendrick collab album.
They said they're never doing it, so that breaks my heart.
Exactly. So I'll believe it when I see it.
But we still got Go Kendrick coming out.
Thinking they would.
Hey, 21 Savage's album's supposed to come out too. No,
he is. I can't wait.
That's what I'm saying. It's
How do you take Kendrick, Cole, and 21 Savage? Who is this guy?
All right, y'all. Let's wrap this up. You guys have anything else you want to end with?
Hey man,
love
people, love y'all. Yeah, my guys. I'm glad we doing this finally, and I feel like people gonna get great content, bro.
Maybe if you could learn to speak, we could get more listeners.
That's tough.
All right. This week was a bit serious.
See, I'll let you live. I'll let you live in this podcast today. But next week I'm not letting you live. Because they said they brought up Laura Hendricks, your father, but we're not going to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, George, let's wrap it up, man.
Hey, we're getting there right now. So this was a serious episode. Like T said, this was a serious episode for our main topic. But this is our platform. This is for you guys. This is for all of us to speak. This is for us to get our opinions out and to try to spread our thinks, our beliefs, our thinks. I just said our thinks. I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm trying to wrap this up professionally. But I'm glad we finally made this happen. I appreciate y'all. Y'all stay safe. Everyone that listens to this, share this, and let's continue on with a great podcast.
Next week we're gonna have Hooked on Phonics.
No cap. No cap.
You can learn how to speak.
Thank you to everyone who listens to episode 1.
First of all, he talking about people that know how to speak. This man said,